Hi guys, it's Pure Price Actions end of day recap. It's 21st of July and the outlook for tomorrow, 22nd of July. So starting off with the S&P, what we saw today I think was a tightening of the range in the later in the session, sharp drop off. I actually like this sort of price action after a big rally from in the past few days to the 3280-ish top today. You can expect a little bit of a pause, and this late drop off after this compression area actually I think will give us some good opportunities tomorrow and the day after, possibly for some consolidation range that we can trade. And what I'm going to look for is to sell this area tomorrow. So any visit up to 3270s again I think will be a chance to sell, of course provided we don't go above that. If we go above that, I think it's going to carry on going to 3290s up here. I don't think that will happen. So my preferred option will be to stay down here into the open tomorrow or the European session, look for a move up to 3270s and then sell that for a revisit of the lows down here. And I think the 3250 to 70 range is going to be quite tradable. To the downside, it can actually fall all the way back down to sort of 3220s again if it continues to the downside. But in any case, the idea very much would be, if price remains below 3270 tomorrow, I'm going to look at that as resistance and an area to sell. Turning then to Nasdaq. Nasdaq's been the tricky one. Yesterday I mentioned I was looking for a pullback. We got the pullback, almost back to the 10750s area, not quite. It started off at a much higher position. Of course, it rallied all the way to nearly 11100-ish up there. Nasdaq's a bit tricky. I think it's got the potential to retest these highs. I don't know. I think it's right at a critical point where it is now, and very much what happens tomorrow is going to depend on where it takes it from pre the open tomorrow. So if we open below the close, I think we might sell off. If we open above here, I think we'll go that way. So it's 50-50 on this one. I don't have a view on it at this point. We'll see where it is in the morning. Dow, well, I actually like the look of Dow, similar to S&P. I like what happened today in terms of giving me confidence in tomorrow. There's compression and then the sharp drop off, and that means I'm going to look to sell this area up here, 26,950s. It should be very similar to S&P resistance going into the morning. Look for a retest, sell it, look for a drop back down to the lower end of today. Turning then to Europe and on DAX. DAX had basically a steady decline all day, so it jumped up early in the first couple of hours of trade and then just retraced the entire day. So that's left it in an interesting position. I think if it maintains this area down here, I wouldn't look for a retest of the highs. It'll probably just carry on going lower. The tricky part here is whether it consolidates or carries on going lower. So this is a box that I'm going to look for. You can see here, this area here, I'm talking about 13,150s is going to be key. If it tests it from underneath and I see price action rejecting that, it'll be a good place to sell. If it breaks above this, then we're probably going to consolidate in this 13,300, 13,150 range for a bit more. So that's the thing to watch out for tomorrow, but essentially I expect my preference tomorrow to be on the downside. I do not want to see it higher than today's high. And same for FTSE. FTSE actually held up pretty well compared to the other markets today. Well, it doesn't look like it on this chart, but it did. It looked like it held its ground fairly well, given that it didn't really have much of a range here. It's like a 50-60 point range only on it, so it's not. It wasn't terribly volatile compared to the other markets, and it's actually still in a range overall. So if you look at it from this perspective, it's still trading inside this range, and I think that'll continue. So we've got 62.20s to the downside, 63.20s to the upside. So I think this will very much be a case of continuing with the range until it breaks, and not much more to add on that. So that's it for the recap today. Hope it was useful. Hope everyone had fun and made some money, or at least learned a few things. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening.